Hey, what's up guys, John here. Amazon has just demanded that everyone come back to the office for a 5-day work week.
Amazon is demanding its corporate employees return to the office 5 days a week.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
It's not just Amazon. Many companies and corporations are pushing to get their employees back to work at office. Why? Because there's a hidden $2 trillion corporate debt bomb that's about to wreck the economy. I reported on this in 2023. When these companies have to refinance this debt at much higher interest rates, in this environment, you're going to see a lot of change. You're going to see a lot of bankruptcies, which we're seeing. Red Lobster, Tupperware just announced bankruptcy, BurgerFi.
Red Lobster has officially filed for bankruptcy.
Tupperware Brands is preparing to file for bankruptcy.
All these major restaurants, these major corporations, and major retail chains are filing bankruptcy.
This year has been one of the worst for businesses when it comes to companies filing for Chapter 11. In fact, business bankruptcies are set to surpass the 2020 levels when the economy was on lockdown.
This is one of the reasons they want to restructure and renegotiate their debt and their outstanding commitments. In addition to this, you're hearing about a lot of strikes. You're hearing about this in Kaiser, even teachers going on strike, Boeing, Stellantis, all these major companies going on strike.
Tens of thousands of Boeing aircraft assembly workers are now on strike.
Thousands of local hotel workers are on strike.
From Hollywood to hotels, workers have been walking off the job.
Why? Well, when they go on strike, they can renegotiate or not renegotiate certain terms. They can get rid of employees without severance. They can do all of these different things to save revenue. And that's exactly what they're doing. We're walking into a major shift right now. Corporations are looking for ways in which they can cut millions of employees and do it in the most cost-effective manner possible. In this video, I'm going to break it down and show you exactly what's going on and why I think we're walking into a major shift in the U.S. economy that's going to result in millions of people losing their jobs in the coming 12 to 24 months. Please hit the like button, people share the content, educate more people about what's happening. Take a look at this. In July, a report on the fall of Denver and the fall of Ohio, 2 months before the media. In 2023, I predicted federal rent control would come and food price controls would come to combat inflation. The White House is now working to make both of these laws.
Passed the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
My incredible team provides tomorrow's news today. Only 30% of all viewers are subscribed. If you subscribe, the algorithm will reward the channel and we can expand and grow and hire more researchers. Thank you for simply clicking the red button to subscribe to the channel. Now on to the video. A $2 trillion corporate debt wall will spark a job loss in 2024. When did this come out? Oh, about 13 months ago, right? This is what we're now seeing. Amazon CEO 5-day office return announces cut for management. 1.3 million views on this. And they say, this is funny how you lose all your good senior employees with families. And people incorporate, goodwill, and they inject emotion into the conversation. At the end of the day, these corporations, all they care about is shareholder value, making profits, making returns. It's not about running a nonprofit organization where people care about other people's feelings. It's not about that at all. You can see quite clearly that that's the case. I mean, look at this. They announced this one day. Look, Amazon tells employees to return to office. 1 day later, Amazon is using generative AI to drive more same-day shipping using smarter robots and better routes. September 17th. So they demand the come back to office 5 days a week on the 16th. Next day, they're like, oh yeah, we're using generative AI and same-day shipping using smarter robots. I did a video a while ago saying Amazon's buying 750,000 robots and they're going to begin to issue big layoffs. And this is what we're in right now. For years, Amazon has set the bar for package delivery. When Prime launched in 2005, 2-day shipping was unheard of. By 2019, 1-day shipping was standard for millions of items. Now, the retail giant is turning to generative AI to drive more same-day shipping. Amazon is using this technology to optimize delivery routes, make more intelligent warehouse robots, create more ergonomic environment for employees, and better predict where to stock new items, right? So you're seeing what they're doing and how this is all working. You're even hearing about drone deliveries that's happening with Amazon, with Walmart. They're testing this. They were testing it in Northern California, in Texas, even certain parts of Europe. This is all going to continue to spread. This is the employees who quit are the exact people that Amazon wants to fire, but now their employees are weeding themselves out. In another major change, Amazon plans to reduce the total number of managers inside its teams, aiming to increase the ratio of individual contributors to managers by at least 15% by Q1 2025, right? Next 6 months. Now, when you look at Boeing, this came out yesterday. Boeing freezes hiring and sweeping cost cuts as it grapples with factory workers' strike. Here, 75,000, this is last year. Remember, 75,000 Kaiser Permanente workers walk off its job. It's the largest healthcare worker strike in history. Now, I'm not saying this is happening, but I'm saying it wouldn't be far-fetched. That imagine if there were some people and they're saying, you know what, we got this company. It's generating billions of dollars in revenue every month, every week, whatever the case may be for the specific, business. What if we organize a strike where we can get rid of 5%, 7%, 10% of our employees by refusing to negotiate? And then, we can not have to offer them severance or any type of deal. We can just have them hit the road, right? Wouldn't that be much more cost effective than offering 6 months salary or whatever the deal may be to every single employee? And it's much easier for them to sweep this under the rug than issuing a layoff of 10% of their entire team, like what we saw with Tesla. Then you have a UAW strike. Accuses Stellantis of violating contract. UAW, this is 2 hours ago. UAW fights with Stellantis escalates as union files unfair labor challenges over factory commitments. You're seeing this with even major airlines. Teacher strike leads to higher pay, lower class sizes, more state funds. They were talking for a very, very long time about how teachers are going to start to have a harder time finding jobs in the near future, right? What are the odds that now these teachers are going on strike? It's just quite clear everything's about to change. And look, this follows the leads as tech companies, even JPMorgan Chase and law firms are doing the same thing. They're looking to demand the return to office mandate, saying it's not optional, right? So as this is all coming forward, you just see how this is all going to play out. Even Steven Schwarzman of Blackstone, the billionaire CEO of the biggest owner of commercial real estate, says remote employees didn't work as hard. Now, what I find very interesting is how this whole situation is going to go from large corporations to middle America, the employees, to commercial real estate. Now, 70% of regional banks hold the debt on commercial real estate because as they negotiate inside of bankruptcy and as they look to cut expenses, there goes those leases in some of these buildings. And it's going to be much harder to fill these offices. And so what's ultimately going to happen? These commercial properties are predominantly valued based on the income they generate. So if the revenue is tanking and there's a lot of vacancies throughout the entire city, what's going to happen? It's going to be a race to the bottom with rents. And as that happens, insurance and taxes are going up. And so you just do the numbers. You look at what this is going to mean. Look at this. Kaiser Permanente just sold a massive 445,000 square foot office tower adjacent to 250K parking garage in Oakland for $14 million. $20 a foot. Kaiser has been consolidating and reducing office spaces. Employees have been settling into remote work. According to the SF Gate, this is one of several high-profile office towers across the U.S. that has traded hands for around land value or less. This is just clear what's happening. Even JPMorgan Chase, you look at this. So they say here that the office mandate, JPMorgan Chase saying, look, you have to come back to the office. Then JPMorgan Chase saying, we're going to equip 140,000 workers with generative AI, essentially allowing these workers to train the AI, and then the AI is going to essentially replace most of these workers. So it's just very, very fascinating how this entire ecosystem, the entire economy is changing. Here you have breaking. Tupperware brand is filing for bankruptcy as soon as this week, 1.2 million views. You have Red Lobster. The chain would be sold to funds managed by affiliates of Fortress, as well as co-investors, TCW Private Capital and Blue Torch Capital. So what do I think is going to happen? Well, I believe what we're going to likely see here is we're going to see a race to the bottom in a lot of these factory jobs. You have millions and millions of new people that have now applied for these positions. And they're going to apply and they're going to be able to work for a lot less because they've come here with no student loans, no auto loans, no mortgages, no credit card debt, no outstanding financial obligations, any creditors. They can work for less. And these large companies are looking for cost-effective solutions to where they can operate their businesses with fat margins. And what are they going to do? They're going to hire for less money inside these factories. They're going to use generative AI and robotics to streamline their systems and processes as best they can. And it's going to be a really big problem for small businesses that are going to be competing with a lot of these corporations that are operating this way. In addition to this, these corporations are able to exercise something called a WOTC tax credit, a work opportunity tax credit, allowing them to write off upwards of $9,600 per employee that they hire. So it's going to be a major cost-cutting race for these corporations. And it's going to get really, really aggressive the next 6 to 12 to 24 months. If we cut interest rates tomorrow, what we're likely going to start to see here is a similar situation, I believe, to what we saw in 2008. In 2007, when they cut rates September 18th, that was the first time they cut rates in 4 years. We haven't cut rates in 4 years. So we're scheduled to cut rates the same exact day that they cut in 2007, right before the great financial crisis, September 18th, tomorrow. So the only difference is the year. So when you look at where consumers are, you look at where businesses are, you look at the amount of problems in commercial real estate, you just look outside at what, even Goldman Sachs they cut a $400 million loss on their consumer credit business. Why? It's because they want to reduce their exposure to middle America. They want to focus on high net worth individuals. This is what I think is going to happen. I think the middle class is basically getting cut out of this equation. And the ones that are going to be benefiting are going to be the new entrants into America, people that have just recently come here looking for work, that are ambitious, that really, really, really want to work, that are willing to come to the office. They're willing to, work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Those people and generative AI and a lot of these new industries are going to continue to grow inside of this new economy that's been built. What do you think about this entire situation? Where do you see all this going? Do you think we're going to see millions of people lose their jobs over the next 12 to 24 months as all this debt? You think about that, $2 trillion in corporate debt, $2 trillion. For context, the commercial real estate market's a $20 trillion market. That's all commercial real estate. It's industrial, that's office buildings, that's 5 units and above, multifamily. That's a $20 trillion market. This is 10% of all commercial real estate values in America is just debt that needs to get refinanced by companies. How are they going to do it? Right? They're likely going to be doing it by getting rid of employees that they paid 10, 15, 20% more for during the Great Resignation in 2021 and 2022 when it was just absolutely craziness inside of the job market. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be cutting costs across the board. Let's have a conversation about this below. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we would love to help you at my company, greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items in your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call tomorrow. Catch you next video.